Do you like my setup?
I have a few thoughts.
Okay, it's that time of year again. What's in my travel camera bag? This is the first time I'm ever flying a double-decker plane, which I'm very excited about. I specifically booked the business class using points, by the way, very cheap. It ended up being like $100 to fly all the way to Frankfurt and then to Prague. But I really just always wanted to go on the double-decker. It's just very exciting, so let's go and do that. Okay, layover in Frankfurt. So while we're doing that, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the camera bag that I have, the actual purpose of this video. So I am using one from PGY Tech called the One Mo 2. And this bag is just like probably one of the best travel camera bags. I just need to be able to carry a drone, gimbal, bunch of lenses. Even if you're traveling, it comes with like a little like bag with inside the bag so that you can actually travel around with that tiny bag when you're at the location and leave most of your stuff actually at the hotel. But in this case, I've actually set it up to only carry gear. That's my camera bag of choice. I'm going to show you once I clear customs here. And almost 24 hours later, we've made it to Prague. This camera bag though is so heavy. Side note, every time you're on a plane, water bottle, this is the hack. You need this. This right here, it like folds into itself and then basically you can hang things off of it. Like this, go like that and just hang it. And that is the best thing. Highly recommend that. What is in the camera bag? This camera right here would go right here, but we're gonna pull a few things out. We are gonna pull laptop, MacBook M3 Max, because that is super heavy. This is one of my favorite things ever. This is the first time I've ever come across a charging solution for travel that I actually like. So this is made by Ugreen. So then I end up actually just using this to charge my laptop instead of having to bring the actual like MacBook charger. And I can charge a whole plethora of other items, pretty much up to 6 different things. This is the only thing that I need. So now I can bring the rest with me so I can talk about it while we're out roaming and exploring without my back being destroyed. Okay, without sounding too cliche, first thing anytime you land in Europe, for me at least, is coffee. So let's go and find a spot. I want that one. That looks. Want to split these croissant? Are we at that friendship stage yet?
We could do that. We could split.
There we go.
Oh gosh, I got the biggest one.
All right, back to the video. We don't need to talk about coffee and croissants the whole time. I've done some alterations to my tripod since the last video, so it's the same tripod, but I've switched the ball head on it. Still the Freewell carbon fiber tripod. Big thing for me, super light and gets tall enough for someone who is 6'1", where I can put a camera here and I can stand and I don't have to hunch over. I can still stand up and get the shot. But I've swapped the ball head for the Falcam quick release F38. So now every single camera that I have has the F38 mounts on it, which Anthony, who's holding this right now, I think he's also filmed this Falcam setup. This is the perfect world where it is the right size that once it's actually fully compressed, it doesn't protrude above the side of the camera bag. So it can go right here. If it's the other one, it stands like here, and that's just annoying because you're just swinging it, hitting people in the head, banging on things. No one wants that. So that's the tripod setup. Also, this city is just absolutely stunning. We're gonna cut to some B-roll right now. Everywhere you look, it just looks good. Actually, we're gonna cut to the B-roll using one of the lenses that I brought on this trip, the 28 to 105 f2.8. We're on a little day trip to a small Czech town, and I'm gonna take out my drone because we're gonna be walking around, so I wanna get the shots now so we can leave it in the tour car here afterwards. But the Mavic 3 Pro, which is like for the 3rd year in a row, that is the drone I always travel with, which is a bit like extensive if I'm being honest. She's a bit big and it comes with this like bigger RC Pro controller. Anthony's in the background. Which drone are you using?
Should have got the Mini 4 Pro.
I don't know, we'll compare footage afterwards. I got 3 lenses. Quick tech specs as to why I picked this drone over other drones. Okay, the RC Pro controller does one thing for me. It allows me to fly my drone further than it can if you're using just like the standard drone remote. It means I get more shots, and that's like a big reason why I bring this drone. 5.1K resolution on this. I prefer cinematic footage personally, like things that are like more slower moving that I can sell for stock footage later. And then I'll also just say that the safety features on these drones are just insane. Like I've never lost one of these drones that I've actually owned, because even if I lose signal, which happened because I flew behind a big old concrete castle, it's literally flying back to me right now. Anthony, can you be the human tripod, please?
I am the designated cameraman.
Okay, this is my other small tripod. You can put it on the ground like that. It also has this little clip on the background, so you like can clamp it on the side of something so you can like actually hold your camera on it. Somebody came up and they're like, how many cameras do you have in that bag? I was like, I think in total I have about 7 cameras on me. And so quick breakdown of like the key ones that I have with me on this trip. So I have the Lumix S9, which has been kind of like a vlogging favorite. The camera I'm shooting on right now is the S1R Mark II, which I think is gonna kind of become my more daily camera across the board. It shoots 8K, it's got 44 megapixels. It allows me to have a lower ISO so that when I put on these filters, which I'll talk about shortly, I just have more flexibility for my shot. So it's kind of just like a powerhouse camera with good autofocus. I'm just very excited about using that more. The main reason I'm in the Czech Republic was for the launch of this camera right here, which is the Fujifilm GFX 100 RF. And I think for a lot of people who are familiar with my channel, you know I'm a big fan of the X100VI. And this camera I actually got in November last year because I was part of the launch campaign, and then it just got announced literally yesterday. But this is my new daily photo camera. For me, having a medium format 100 megapixel camera is crucial to me while I'm out shooting photos for the art that I want to be creating. I just like the colors out of this better. I like having 100 megapixels, and I like being able to just carry this around without the protrusion of the other cameras dangling from me. Those are the breakdown of the cameras. I got some tiny cameras, but we'll chat about those later. Let's move on. This episode is brought to you by Artlist. Now, Artlist just launched a new music discovery widget that I think is extremely helpful for creators who produce a lot of content, but especially if they produce content for brands. One thing that all creators know is that we can't use popular songs in our videos. And if we want to, we either have to pay a hefty licensing fee or we risk getting demonetized, which means that we won't get AdSense for the videos that we're creating. Artlist's new music discovery tool shows you which songs are trending each week on Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. And you can even filter by specific countries for Spotify and YouTube. For every trending song, Artlist's widget will recommend 10 royalty-free tracks that are actually sonically and musically similar. This lets you boost engagement while using songs that sound familiar without all of the licensing headache. So let me show you how this all works. We're gonna go over to the discovery tool, click on YouTube, and we're gonna look through the songs. I'm gonna do Like Jenny by Jenny here, number 5. So this is the song. And let's see what it suggests. That sounds similar. This one sounds very similar. The goal is to get relevant inspiration filtered down into something that you can actually use. All the songs are covered with your Artlist license and are ready to be dropped right into your project. Now you get access to relevant inspiration filtered down into something that you can actually use. And that's not all. Artlist also offers powerful tools like AI voiceovers, AI image and video generating tools, as well as stock footage, sound effects, templates, and much, much more. So head over to Artlist or click the link in the description below to explore the various plans and see if there's one that fits your workflow. Thank you, Artlist, for sponsoring this video. Okay, I think filters are even more important than lenses and cameras, because ultimately this is the thing that you're putting in front of your lens in order to capture the footage that you're shooting. You want that to be the highest quality possible. So the ones that I've been using are from K&F Concept. I'm using a 2 to 5 VND CPL. The VND is basically like a variable sunglass. This is ultimately the thing that's controlling the light that's going into the camera to capture it. And by following the 180-degree rule, which is like basically the idea if you're shooting 24 frames per second, your shutter speed would be like 1/50. If it's 60 frames per second, it'd be 1/125. And by following that, you get the most natural looking motion blur. And when I'm shooting my more cinematic footage, I want it to be the highest quality possible. Now, because this is also blended with a CPL, the circular polarizer, which that stands for, allows you to remove glare from your shot. So it reduces the highlights, it adds more contrast. And again, this one tool, which is normally 2 filters, really allow you to dial in your image. So think of this as essentially sunglasses for your camera. And because it has a hard stop on it, a lot of like VNDs continue to go around. You get this like X pattern and it just looks bad. This stops that from happening. 2 other quick filters I bring with me. I just bring a normal circular polarizer on the photo side if I just don't want to have a VND associated, but I also bring this blue light streak filter, which is right here. Kind of gives you an anamorphic flare essentially on like little pins of light. So when you're shooting cars, it just looks very cinematic. Those are my filters that I brought on this trip. Sometimes I bring more, but those are like my go-tos almost all of the time. But I definitely always travel with a VND CPL. All right, turns out we're gonna climb to the top of the castle. Stairmaster.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. All right, welcome to the top of the Chesky Krumlov Tower. This is nice. Let's check out the views.
It's right there.
What are we looking at?
So this gate right here,
Yeah.
you see the brown bear?
There's an actual bear down there?
Yes.
Oh, there's an actual bear down there.
That's what these people are looking at.
Oh, there's just a bear. Okay.
Chris, you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, it's in the light. It's better.
Yeah.
In the shade. Okay, I want to explain a few other things that I have in here. I have 2 tiny cameras. I have the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Shoots 8K. This is like an amazing action camera. The main reason why I like this one is it has a mic right here in the front, so I can kind of go under the radar. So at the beginning of this video, I shot with this camera because the moment I bring out a big camera, everyone gets like really intimidated. You showcase this, it seems like they don't care as much. In between all of like the multi-framing and everything, it's really great. It's got the flippy screen, but more importantly, this right here, you're like, what is that? It is a mouth mount, but it's the best mount. What
the hell are you talking about?
It is the best mouth mount. Not all are built equal. Actually, if you put this in hot water, it'll form to your teeth, but check this out. Literally, I do this. And I can get POV shots, action shots, but ultimately this one holds the best. And it also has this quick release clip right here, so you unlock it, boom, and I can take this camera on and off. The other camera I use, another Insta360 product, the Insta360 X4. And I was like, oh, this would be the perfect spot to go and shoot outside of a tower in a castle. But guess what I didn't do? I forgot to charge this. And so what I'm going to do is use this Jupo battery charger that I use for both my Fujifilm cameras and my Lumix cameras, and it has an in option, but it also has an out option, which means that it turns this right here into a charging unit. And now I've also been able to save myself in a pinch and not lose the shot using this multi-charger. I plug that in right there, and so we're gonna have to wait like 2 minutes just to be able to charge up enough to get the shot.
I legit love that thing.
Yeah,
Peter
it's the
Lindgren.
best. Yeah, Peter Lindgren. Thank you, sir, for making this. It's awesome. Not only do I have the place to store my memory cards, but I also have the ability to charge all 3 batteries. So those are the tiny cameras that I use. Okay, so the Insta360 X4 I think is like the best bang for your buck. You got a 360 camera. You also have like an action camera, and you can do things like this when you have the selfie stick. So I have the shorter one for travel, but you can literally put it all the way out here, zoom out, and now Anthony and I are the king of the castle. Sup, YouTube? That's his king voice. We're gonna try one of the local desserts. This is a cream puff. This is the hazelnut. Normally it's like plain, is what we've been told, but this is the special edition right here. Look at that. Very light. I kind of did that on purpose because I want to make a mess to show you something, but that's delicious. That's actually so good. But this I cannot recommend enough. This is the VSG Imp Air. It sounds so funny to like rave about an air blower to get dust off your sensor, but this one is so much better. I've had ones, the pressure is not good. This one, I can blow it. It's like, I can just like form Anthony's hair. If you guys wanna see the power of this, like it is very, very strong. Imagine this dust and this is your sensor. You don't always get that much power out of an air blower. And this is a cool part. It has a little weight in the bottom right there. That's huge. Normally these things like roll off the side of a table. Ooh, it didn't want to do it. All right, quick overview of my audio gear. I'm using the DJI mic minis. They come with this little charging case plus a secondary mic right there. Plus they have this little dead cat on the top. So when it's windy, you're not gonna get all of that like rustling sound. Plus I can actually connect it with the USB-C to my phone should I want to do like social pieces. DJI mic 2 or mini, great options. I'm preferring the mini these days. And then I have a shotgun microphone. I need something that's small, that's not gonna take up space, that's gonna give me good quality audio. Look at how tiny that is right there. We'll do that, make sure it's actually grabbing the focus. This is the Video Go Micro number 2. It's got the shock absorber when you plug it in, and then you use this and a high pass filter with the dead cat. You could like film in Iceland and not have wind noise. Small, high impact audio. Put a preference on audio. It's very important because then it allows you to get nice sounds of the lute and flute music playing in the background here in this beautiful town. My last kind of items that I wanted to just pinpoint, it's more on the storage side of things. So ever since I switched to the S1R Mark II, I had to switch to a CF Express Type B if I wanted to use the 8K and any of the other higher features. So I use this 2 terabyte CF Express Type B right there. It is massive. It has a read speed of 3,650 megabytes per second and a write speed of 3,000 megabytes per second, which basically means that you can like download just like 100 gigs in like seconds or minutes, which is just nice to get right to the process of editing. And then the other things that I have are Samsung SSD, and because I have the MagSafe on the back of this, I can also use this to record ProRes right off of my iPhone, which is like essential. But that's it. That's all the stuff that's in my camera bag in 2025. That's an ever-changing thing. If you guys want to look into any of the items, especially the ones that I didn't actually mention the names of, I'll put everything in the links in the description below. And by clicking any of those, you are supporting this channel. I get a little commission and kickback on all of that stuff. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you. Catch you in the next one. Bye.